Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know that it's been a minute, but I literally had surgery. This is what I've been dealing with. I got my biddies removed. As you guys know, I'm a trans man, so I've literally been waiting since, ever to get these removed. I hated them since they were there, and now they're gone. And now I've recovered, okay? It's been about 2.5 weeks. I had it on August 20th. I can't do math. Today is September 16th, so apparently I don't know what day it is either. It's September 6th, so you guys can do the math for that, because I don't know, what is it, like 17 days? Because August has the 31st. Anyway, I did a poll recently on what type of video y'all would want, and one of the ones that you guys voted for the most was this story time about how my mom literally came down to my college and stalked me. I didn't see her with my own eyes, but from what she texted me and from what I gathered, she actually drove all the way down from the top of the state to the bottom to my college to look for me. And this was after not seeing her for years. If you guys don't know, my mom, her name's Linda, she's a narcissist. She actually now knows about my TikTok and YouTube, so that's, hi Linda, hi mom. She doesn't like it when I talk about her, so we're gonna talk about it, obviously. And because you guys love it so much. Whenever I talk about my mom, I just, I get the most views. It's the most entertaining, I totally get it. Here's the content. Also, I got new LPS. By the way, if you guys ever want an LPS tour, just let me know, because I'm dying to give another one. This happened in 2018 when I had my first house off campus, so I was in a house with 2 other girls and a guy, and that's a story for another time, because every roommate experience I had where I was living in a dorm or a house went insane. Every single one. But that's a story for another time. This particular one, as I said, I was living in this house with other college kids, and I was so excited. The rent was pretty cheap. I only had to pay $375 for the room, and all the utilities were paid, and then the other kids paid the same amount, and we all added it together, and you guys get it. And I was on a street that was super close to the school, and we had a police officer that lived next door to me, and the sheriff with his canine unit that lived across from me. I felt pretty safe in the area that I was nestled in, but there's one person that I'm not safe from, and that's my mother. So this would have been 2018, and the divorce was finalized in 2015, 2016. At this point, I hadn't seen my mom in 2 years, and I did not want to see my mom. I was just going through college. I was dealing with a lot of stuff on my own with friends and with school and with professors giving me a hard time. One professor legit wouldn't accept my doctor's note for my dad's LVAD surgery, which is a major heart surgery where you can die. He said, no, in real life, if you had to take care of your dad, you'd lose your job, I guess. So I don't know what lesson I was taught there. So I was dealing with a lot. I was definitely not wanting to hang around my mom, see my mom, have a relationship with my mom, do anything with my mom, but she still wanted to F with me. I don't know why. She just wouldn't accept that she traumatized her kids to the point that neither of them want to talk to her, and that she should move on and get therapy so she doesn't traumatize her new husband, who just so happens to be my dad's best friend of 20 years. Yeah, my dad's best friend of 20 years. Schmack my mom, you know. And then, while the divorce was still ongoing, and maybe even before, I don't know. But it's okay, because he cheated on her too, so I guess it's just an eye for an eye. Anyway, my mom really wanted a relationship with me. She just, wouldn't let it go. Always texting me, making fake Facebook accounts, emailing me. She would email my business email, and she actually still does this. I'll have to do an update, but just recently, my mom, I blocked her, and she went postal after my car crash. She emailed me. She had her husband text me. You know, my dad's best friend, that scumbag, she had him text me. She texted my roommate on Facebook, and dude, I'm surprised I didn't get a letter in the mail. She won't leave me alone. The same energy was kind of had back when I was in school. My mom, she is nuts, so if I'm not gonna engage her, she's just gonna come up and find me herself, and she told me so. 2018, I was a junior in college, and the type of texts my mom was sending me were just things like, hey, I would like to send you a care package, or hey, I missed your literal high school graduation. I'd like to come up and see your dorm and just kind of have a taste of your college life, which I don't know why she thinks she's entitled to life experiences with her children after traumatizing them. This woman literally put her hands around here when I was 14 and squeezed, and we had to call the cops for attempted murder. But she would keep texting me I just want to send you a care package. Come on, answer me. You only have one mother. You're gonna regret this. I'm gonna die one day. Oh, woe is you, just grow up and talk to your mother. This is disrespectful not to have a relationship with your mother. Quit ignoring me type stuff. And my mom, even today, still has never apologized. She'll just, anytime I try to talk to her about anything she did to me as a kid, the joking, she'll just say, oh, I guess I'm just a horrible mother then. And it's Yeah, because I don't know a good mom out there that has choked their kid. If the shoe fits, I would just ignore her. I would block every number, but she would keep finding ways to message me, harass me, and I would just keep ignoring them. And finally, I responded and I said, would you please just leave me alone? I don't want a relationship with you. I'm in college now. I'm not interested. I'm grown. You lost your chance. Okay, you should have apologized 10 years ago and then took me out or something. Like, I don't know. It's too late now. You should have hugged me. Like, you should have hugged me 10 years ago and then maybe things would be different, but you didn't. So that made her mad. Because if you know anything about narcissists, okay, they're very entitled people. Okay, and I'm her kid, so to her, I'm her property. I don't have autonomy. Even if I'm 18, I was 20 at this time, but even in college, I'm still a kid to her. I'm her kid. How dare I not speak to her? She brought me into this world, God forbid, without my permission. If I had consciousness as a little sperm in my dad's sack, I would have picked a different hole. I wouldn't have run that race. I've been to state 6 times for track and cross country, but my biggest regret, the race that I regret winning, is that first one, When I don't give her the answer that she wants, she's gonna figure out how to get it herself. That's when she sent me this threatening paragraph that I really wish I had a screenshot of, because it's just ridiculous. It was a threat. It was a big paragraph of a massive threat of essentially her saying, I'm your mother, you don't get to treat me like this. If I were to come visit you at college, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna drive there all the way there and then go up and down streets looking for your car, and then I'm gonna knock on your door. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, she lives at the top of the state, I'm at the bottom. That's a 4.5-hour drive. No, she's not. But then this is Linda. So, like, yes, she will. She would drive that. She drove further just to put me in beauty pageants as a kid and spend $1,000 and then lose. But she gets these cute pictures of me in a crown and a sash to put on Facebook. Yes, she would drive 4 hours to look for my car. So I'm thinking, oh my God, my car is so noticeable. It's not like a silver Toyota Corolla like I used to have a car that would blend in. It was an old 2001 Toyota Camry, and it had a messed up spray paint job on the bumper because the day before I went to college, I backed it into my dad's truck in our own driveway, and I put the truck there. Forgot it was behind me, and I didn't look because there's never a car parked behind me in our driveway. Forgot that I moved it there to play basketball. So that's also a story for another time, because my dad had to figure out how to get a new bumper on my car and then spray paint it the same color of the car all in the same day before I drive to college, to start college as a freshman. And I also had a concert I had to drive 5 hours to that weekend after college initiation, so he had to get it fixed. My point is that the back of my car had patches of green because we spray painted it with just tan to make it match, and then it had faded over time. She could actually drive up and down roads near the college and find my house. Oh, hey, Shas. Drive up and down roads near my college and find my house that way by looking at my car. So I'm thinking, what do? I don't want to park my car at the school because eventually it'll get towed, and I'm thinking, well, I could move it to different spots every day, but like it's such an obvious car. They would be like, why is this old ass beat up Camry just playing like leapfrog around our parking lot? I can't do that. So I'm thinking, well, we have space in the back. I'll just drive around the alley. I looked for nails first. I'll just drive around the alley and I'll just park behind the house because she can't really see back there. She's not going to go down alleyways. I don't think. So that's what I ended up doing. I parked my car behind the house. I just ignored my mom. Well, I did send a message back and I was like, if you do that, I'll literally call the police. And I'm thinking they live across the street. I could just sneak out the house, run across and knock on the door and say, hey, that woman is trying to get into my house. She's on my property and won't leave. I don't know who she is. Like, I could literally like get her arrested. No kid wants that. I'm a junior in college for psychology. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to study. I'm trying to enjoy my time. I gotta worry about my crazy mom coming up, trying to find me. What's she gonna do when she gets there? What if I don't answer the door? Is she gonna throw a rock through the window? She's just gonna stay there till I come out, like stake me out, keep driving up and down until I have class? Like, what's she gonna do? Get a hotel room and just keep coming by? Oh, she's gotta leave for food eventually. My kid's gonna go to class soon. Like, I'll just wait. Like a fucking panther stalking me. That's what it feels like. She sent me messages after that alluded to the idea that she was looking for me. Things like, not today, but soon. Or, went searching, I'll look again. Shit like that. Ominous, like little short one-liners. And I don't remember word for what they were. They might not have been that exactly, but they were ominous and alluded to the idea that whenever she was in the neighborhood, she would look. And at one point, I did get a message saying that she saw my car in the big parking lot, but didn't go looking for me because, well, what building would I be in? She wouldn't know that. And I'm thinking, are you just saying that? Because like 4.5 hours to come look for your kid that you may or may not find. And then even if she did find me, like knocking on the door and all that, what if I just don't answer? Or what if I do? What if I did and it was a big confrontation? Like, what did she expect to gain from that? Like the whole year I lived in that house and I had that car, I was just worried. worried. What if I forget to park it back there? Or sometimes my roommate would park behind the garage, so I couldn't park my car back there, so I'd have to go on the street. And I would hate it because it's like, what if today's the day that she's in town and she drives by and she sees my car and she's like, well, it's got to be one of these houses, and then just waits until I come out. Like, I wouldn't even, if she's got a new car, I wouldn't know if it was her or not because I don't know what car she has. What if she was in her like new husband's truck? Like, I don't know what his truck looks like. He doesn't have a Facebook that I can access and see like what he drives. She could be like waiting out there and I would have no idea. And then once she knows where I live, she'll come all the time. She'll send letters to the mailbox. It'll be 10 times worse. And you know the cops, they don't do anything unless there's an actual threat. The fact that my mom just literally harassed me, terrorized me my junior year of college. My car would have issues a lot. I'd have to walk to class and I'd think, what if she just appears out of nowhere and pulls up next to me? I would get nervous anytime a car would pass and start going slow. Usually it's just, again, somebody on drugs that's driving too cautiously because they don't want to get caught, that they end up standing out because they're driving so slow and cautiously. Like, nobody actually stops at the stop sign there. Everyone rolls. Why are you looking each way 4 times? You're on a stimulant. Like, dude. But I would be like, is that Linda or is that an addict? It was like a fun little mini game going to class, I'm not gonna lie. It's really difficult trying to focus when you're scared about, is my mom gonna be there? Is my insane cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs mom gonna be waiting? I don't know. If I asked my mom today, did you actually drive up there and stalk me? She would probably deny it. She'd probably, when she watches this, she'll be like, oh, you're making this up. That never happened. Yes, you did, mom. You sent me messages to my freaking iPhone XR. Okay. You sent me messages and they were threatening, and you said that you were gonna come up here and drive around. Dude, I just remembered something as I'm talking about this. She actually wrote in that message that she had come up there and done that before. She said, I'll come up there again and I'll drive up and down streets. She said again, alluding to the idea that she'd done it before but was unsuccessful. And it's like, maybe she did it when I was still living in the dorms. Maybe that's what it was. If she saw my car in the parking lot, it could have been in the dorm parking lot where you can't really engage. Because the first year I was in the back row, if you know Shawnee State University, they have a whole street that they bought so that cars can't go down it, so that the kids can walk from the dorms to the school safely and all that jazz. But there's another row of like dorm apartments behind that the road isn't bought out. So that was hectic getting to school because it was a busy road. People would use it to get from Kroger back to residential. So I would have to be careful walking over that road to get to class because you could get hit. And my car would be parked in that parking lot. So if I had to guess, my mom drove up and down those dorms, found my car, but thought, I don't know which dorm Jess would be in. I can't go knocking on doors where these young adults are at that I don't know because that'll get me arrested. I have no business on this campus, right? So she probably effed off. I had no idea that that was happening. And I wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. There's ways you can park along the street that isn't campus owned. So she could have taken one of those spots and then waited for me to come back from class or come out or something, because 10 to 2, odds are I'd have a class somewhere in there during the week. So that's scary. Like, would she have just pulled up, put a bag over my head and yank me in the car? Like, what's the game plan, Linda? Was it just to talk to me? Because that wouldn't have gone well. You're not just gonna spring up on me like a side quest in life. This isn't a video game. I mean, she might think it is, but this is my life. I'm the main character, and I don't want to do that side quest, damn it. I'm gonna ignore it, especially if there's no achievement attached. There's no achievement attached to Linda. I'm not trying to platinum this game. Okay, I want nothing to do with her, and I've had nothing to do with her. I haven't seen her now since Thanksgiving 2022 because she made me cry. She literally called me a thing to my face and made me cry. My big old age of 24 at the time, and I thought, I'm 24 years old. I came here to have a good Thanksgiving with my mom, and it went like, I feel like I'm a kid again crying in a room, and I had no way to go home because my mom picked me up. Never ever go to a crazy person's house without your own car. Don't let them pick you up because then you're stranded there and you have no way home. And I had to wait for her husband to drive me home the next morning and listen to her. And I have a recording of that. I have multiple recordings of my mom berating me from childhood and from this night I'm talking about, where she literally calls me a thing. She's actually a big Trumpy. I don't know if you guys knew that. My mom's a Trumpy. She has a Trump flag. It's her whole identity. She loves him. So like, that's the type of energy I'm dealing with here. Very entitled, very aggressive, very uneducated energy that can only be rifled with my own anger. You know how like when you're a kid and you meet somebody like a boy and you start getting butterflies and you feel that spark? When you're a kid, you kind of feel that with your parents. When you're making new memories and your brain is making connections, even when they're like, just say, giving you a bath or something, the way you feel in that moment, cared for, warm, protected, clean, all that. When you don't have a lot of those moments, it does something. I didn't have a lot of, oh my God, this is my mommy and we're doing this thing. I didn't have a lot of those moments. As I grew up, my brain was like, okay, I don't really need my mom. You just don't forget that. And when you're an adult and you realize, wow, I was just a kid. Kids are so little. When you're in college, you start to realize how little kids were, how little you were, how little I was. And that's why I can't fully forgive her. Yeah, my mom stalked me at college. What can I say? Bye.